There comes a time in every kid's life that they are either looking in or looking out. In the game or on the sidelines, with a date or standing next to the dance floor. Not the first round draft pick, but a free agent at best. There comes a day in every person's life that you stare into a room that you would either are wishing to get in or find yourself dying to get out. For me, I would have given anything to be in there. In that game, on that dance floor, first one picked. Anything that life would bring me. It meant everything to me to be in that room peering out. But now looking back, once in my obsession, my fear at the core of it all, it almost cost me everything. And at one time I was not sure I would ever get out. Most of my life, especially my childhood, it was the locker room, so to speak, the team, the group, the clique, the squad, a desperate need to be in the huddle and a part of it all I so desired. It was the obsession of that locker room in my youth that one day almost landed me in a locked up room for life. Why is it that a mostly empty, smelly, ugly looking room becomes the obsession of the majority of kids growing up, and many adults who never had really grown up? Why is it that a room made for no more than to dress and undress will make a mild-mannered adult act and do things like a little kid on Sundays? Why is it that a person would risk their entire bank account just to say, I was there, back then, last week, and still today in my mind, in that room? For me, it came down to basically one reason, one motive, and yes, one obsession. Fortunately, after hanging up the towel in that quest, it dawned on me that I, during it all, was slowly losing the very thing one thinks they will never ever lose, a soul. What once was a space filled up with a deep desire to get in or be a part of something had, before I knew it, become an empty room of a heart, so wanting, so needing to get out. All because of what? My name is Greg Ryan from Greg Ryan Fitness Global. Today I'd like to share with you the backstory of my best-selling book, Fitting In, When Doing the Right Thing is Not Always Popular. Of all the books that I have written over the years, I think this has been the most difficult to write, to read, and to share. Not because of what I did, but what I didn't do at the time. I didn't do the right thing because it wasn't popular. I did the wrong thing because I wanted to fit in. I wanted some form of acceptance. I wanted some form of identity. And I wanted for the first time a purpose that I could strive for. And as I entered the fitness world and bodybuilding world in my late teens, I was this little kid that knew no different. And I remember the first day like it was yesterday, pointing that needle into my body. 4 hours it took me. I remember it like it was yesterday. The last needle I stuck in me 6 years later took me 4 seconds. I ended up doing something that I never thought I would ever do. I compromised. I wanted to fit in so badly into some form of locker room. And so I decided to write the book to come clean, because we all have that locker room. We all have that clique. We all have that girlfriend. We all have that husband. We all have that football team, that soccer team, that cheerleading squad that we want to fit into. And at times we will do things that we would never have ever thought we would do. For what? To fit in? To be accepted? To have some type of purpose? I was fortunate. I've escaped death 4 times in my life. Some of my accord and some not. And I'm not proud of what I've done, but it is a story. And it's a story to tell people and to share. That sometimes it's okay to be different. Sometimes it's okay to say no. And most of the time, if not all, it's okay to not fit in with all your cliques and all your peers. For me, fitting in is just a metaphor of I was willing to take a needle and put a poison in me just because I wanted to be somebody. And what the interesting part was is that once I got in that locker room, I didn't want to be there. The interesting part is that what I wanted was acceptance, identity, and purpose, and Jesus Christ had already given me that many years before. So here I went on this journey to try to find something I already had. And I was willing to put my life in danger. 3 weeks after my last bodybuilding contest, I rolled my car over apparently 6 or 8 times. I fell asleep on the highway at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Jesus Christ said to me, "You think it's about time you throw in the towel?" And for me, I had never thrown in a towel before in my life. I never was a quitter. But I realized that once I got in that locker room, there was really no place for me. Because I wanted to be different. I didn't want to fit in. That was the ironic part about it. At the beginning of my career, I would do anything to fit in. And at the end of my career, I would have done anything to be different. So maybe by my story, through this book, fitting in when doing the right thing is not always popular. Maybe there's a kid out there that is willing to do whatever it takes to get ahead. Maybe there's a kid out there that thinks he's not good enough. Maybe there's a kid out there that would give anything to be in that game. Maybe there's a little girl out there that was told that she'd never make the cheerleading squad. Maybe there's a young man out there saying that he was never smart enough. That what the world labeled as a disability, God meant for a gift. Maybe there's an adult out there that suffers from some form of depression or some form of attention deficit disorder or Asperger's or even autism that was told they'd never amount to anything. Maybe there is an ex-wife that is going through a divorce. Maybe there is a husband who has lost his job. I don't know why things happen. I don't know why my life was spared. But I do know that if I could encourage just one person, one child, one adult to say, be different. You don't always have to fit in. Do the right thing when it's not popular. And remember that locker room is not all what it's cracked up to be. This is Greg Ryan from Greg Ryan Fitness Global and the author of Fitting In, when doing the right thing is not always popular.